Hey guys, my name is Raza, and today's topic is TCP/IP6. Why TCP/IP6 isn't used in Windows, and should we disable it? And if we disable it, how to disable it? So there are, like a correct way to disable it, and there is a proper way to disable it. Microsoft recommend, hey, if you want to disable TCP/IP6, first make sure it's not used in your environment. Uh, if you're not using it, then disable it. One reason to disable it is sometimes the hackers hack into your system and they create a TCP/IP6 tunnel to access your data and you don't know. And the second thing is, if you want to disable it the proper way. You know, the I have seen it in several places where what they do, they go here under TCP/IP6 and they just uncheck it, and that is the wrong way to do it. Why it's the wrong way to do it? Because you just disabled it on the NIC card actually, and Windows doesn't know that you uncheck this box. So Windows will try to communicate with TCP/IP6 because there are certain applications by default take advantage of TCP/IP6. So we're gonna leave this thing checked and leave it as is. So let's see if we go to see if I just did a okay, now it's back to normal. And also, if you're using a small business server, and if you uncheck it on the NIC card and you reboot, trust me, the reboot gonna take at least an hour to come up to a point where you can log in because SBS server, small business server, which Microsoft is not, making new version after I think SBS 2011. That's heavily depend on TCP/IP6. So if you need to disable that, you have to go to the registry to disable it. So for example, if you go to command line, do IP config/all, you will see here, for example, um, mm, right here, you see the tunneling adapter is enabled, and you can see this, so TCP/IP6 is enabled. Um, and when you're disabling TCP/IP6, actually, I'm going to bring this link right here so we all can see it. So this is actually from Microsoft, and Microsoft recommend how to disable IPv6. And you can actually read this thing if you want to, like, hey, this is the mandatory part of Windows Vista in latest version of Windows, meaning up to 2016. And if you want to disable it, disable the IPv6 or its components. And this is the way you can do it. It's like, and also they're talking about, hey, if you disable it, the startup will be delayed for five seconds. And there is actually a hotfix for that. You can actually, I think probably you're gonna look for the hotfix later, but you can actually go and implement that hotfix. So that 5 seconds delay, it's not a big deal for a 5 seconds delay, but 5 seconds delay is a big thing if you have the VDI, virtual environments, where when the VDI is booting. So normally the acceptable range is 30 seconds for a workstation to boot in a in Citrix or VMware Horizons environment. And for server, normally if it boots up within a 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes, it is acceptable. Um, as you can see from here, from this article, which is a KB929852, there are like 10 different, like a fix-it kind of a tool where you can download. And for example, this one will disable IPv6. This going to disable. This going to prefer IPv4 over IPv6 and prefix policy. So these are all things you can download and run it. and that's going to disable 6 on all non-tunnel interfaces, disable IPv6 on all tunnel interfaces, disable IPv6 on non-tunnel interfaces except the loopback, and on IPv6 tunnel interfaces. So these are different configuration. It's only valid if you're really using it in your environment. If you're not, in my opinion, just disable it. And because by unchecking it, for example, if you just uncheck it uh, from here, what happens is if you have a multiple Active Directory controllers, and if you go to a users and computer and try to change a domain controller, and you will see some of the domain controllers are not what you call it, ready or active. They are like unresponsive. So that is one of the reasons, because in some controller this TCP/IP6 is unchecked at this level. So let's go back to our article and see. So I'm gonna do this thing, and I'm gonna go back here. Oh, that was different. um, that was actually being. Where is it under? Did I close it? Most likely. So let me go back there actually. Um, you can actually Google it, disable TCP/IP6, and that's the article from Microsoft comes up first. And also you can disable it using a what you call the group policy as well. So let's go back here, and you see the more information. If you don't want to use what you call it, um, these things. If you want to use any of these things, these are the the wizards. You don't want to use it, that's fine. What you can do it actually, you can go and do it manually. Um, and to do it, basically, if you read this thing, how to disable IPv6, and basically you go to or you run regedit, go to program list, and go to user control, continue, blah blah blah. What we can do it actually, you can show you. Um, it's pretty simple. You go. Actually, I can create an icon right here. Um, so if I run this thing and do a regedit, and basically what they're saying is, um, go to a local machine, go to systems, go to current control sets, um, go to services, and go to TCP/IP6 actually. It's a long list. So now what I do, I just put T, and it's going to bring me to TCP/IP6 right here. And you click here, go to parameters, and parameters. Normally, what we do, see, there's nothing here actually. So what we do is right click here, 32 bits, and do a disabled components. So disabled components, and you can right click on it, and you can either you can modify binary or a the XE. And normally what I do here is just put FFFF, and its funny thing is to remember, as Microsoft was saying, why. So basically right here, and we just create this key and set it to a FFFFF. You can set the different values here, and and we will go through with that article right here under why these things keep coming here. Okay. Okay, so what basically I did, I followed this thing, disable component entry, and I created this one, like 32 value, disable component. And once you create this entry, there are different values you can put. You can put a type 0-20, which is prefer IPv over IPv6, and if you go under um, you know how to enable it, or like a different settings. The one exactly are done by this fix it kind of thing. Whichever you run it, you can control all the settings manually. And the other thing is, if you want to see, hey, if everything is correctly or not, so you take this thing and you just run this thing um, right here, and it should give you this thing, hey, disable component, blah blah blah, and this is the value. But if I go here under IP config/all, see, this thing is not disabled. The reason is, for this thing to be disabled, you have to reboot. So the reboot is required after modifying the registry key. Hey, yeah, I forgot one thing to tell you. Before you modify or play with the registry, it's a good idea to back up before you modify it. And the thing is, before you modify it, it's pretty simple. Export the registry key wherever you want to, whatever you name is like a pre um, TCPIP6, for example. This is not true because we already modified it, but basically you can save it. So if something goes wrong, you can click on it and restore it. This is supposed to be done before we touch the registry. So I mean, um, we did back up the entire registry. You have an option to back up, like, you don't have to do all the way. You can take any level, and you can actually do you can export it. You can just export it, just the TCP/IP6 thing. You can right click here and you can export just this key. You don't have to export the entire key. So this way you can just restore this key. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to reboot this machine, and we're going to see if this thing is working or not. Okay, I rebooted the server and I just logged back in, and let's see. First thing first, let's check here. We disable TCP/IP6 using the registry key. And if we go under the NIC card, and you see the TCP/IP thing is still checked, but it doesn't matter because the TCP/IP, IPv6 is disabled for the whole window, so it doesn't matter it's checked or not here. And the other thing is, let's go to the command line, do IP config/all. And now you see the tunneling adapter is gone, and all this TCP/IP6 informations are gone. It's pure TCP/IP4. By the way, there is no 5 TCP/IP5, so TCP/IP5 never made it to the market. So from 4, 5 died during the trial, and 6, and IPv6 is, the last I heard, is only being used by 3% of the environment, and 97% they use TCP/IP4. Yeah, TCP/IP4. I'm sorry. So here is this. So we successfully disabled TCP/IP6, and now, I mean, I can end this video right now, but it's only like 14 minutes. And if you want to have, like, you want to get some more information regarding, hey, why, if you're not using it, so why TCP/IP6 is there? I mean, yeah, if you're using it, that's fine. So what TCP/IP does, it, like every newer version of Windows has some improvement over over no IPv6. The more and more services are designed to take advantage of TCP6, but unfortunately nobody's using it. So for example, I'm going to show you like here. Uh, if I take the actually, oh, come on. I love Notepad. So for Notepad, if you want to see it right here, but for example, one of the question is, hey, what is new about IPv6 support in Windows 8 and Windows Server 2016? So the answer given by Microsoft on their article, which is a CC 987595, is like it gives you a better internet connectivity, Net64, DNS64, and Windows PowerShell is using this thing. And the funny thing is, IPv6 does not support Internet Explorer browsing to the internet. So that part absolutely does not work. Um, and also, um, let me see if I find this article. So actually, I'm going to put that article in the notes windows of this video. So if anybody interested, they can see it. So this is basically, this video is like 15 minutes or 16 minutes, going to 17 minutes. So basically, we're talking about how to disable TCP/IP version 6 if you are not using it, and that is the proper way to disable it. And that's it, guys. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much for your time.